Happy Friday, Scrap Masters. Here we go again for a random quilt block. Roll and spin. We're making block number 11 in series 2. Are you ready? Let's get stitching. That is right. Well, welcome back, Scrap Masters and new guests alike. My name is Rob Appell. I'm a quilt maker from Stitchin Heaven out in Quitman, Texas, and I am so blessed to have all 86,000 of you out there joining along. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Like I said, it's Friday afternoon. This is a premiere, 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Please join us in the chat along and let us know how the new year is going. If you participated on the New Year's Day mystery quilt, we'd love to know, have you finished up your quilt? Of course, that's completely unexpected at this point in the year. My goodness, it's not even double digits yet. But nonetheless, there are several of you out there that have finished. It's incredible to see all of you, and thank you for participating in that Facebook group for the New Year's Day Sew Along. And of course, thank you very much for participating in our Sew Well Rob Appell group right here. Quilt behind me, because everyone's always asking. This is Scrap Masters. This is series 1. The pattern is free in the downloads below. But if you haven't heard, we are rolling and spinning our way to a random quilt block each and every week. This was last week's block number 10. And what you see on the wall here, I like to do it each and every week, kind of randomly reorganize, kind of based on color or content, the different blocks we're making. My challenge to myself in series 2, again, pattern free in the download, in the links below, it's a free download, is using my low volume neutral fabric, this fabric that's kind of got a tonal effect to it on a background. And so at any rate, I'm having fun with the challenge, and I'm starting to really see the quilt come together, and I'm excited to see what we're gonna do this week. So this is awesome. Again, thank you all for being here. Thank you for chatting along. There are no rules. So I'm going to use a 6-sided die to see which block I'm going to create today. And I feel like so far this quilt has been very heavy. I don't think we've gotten a 3, a 4, or a 1 yet. So let's choose hopefully one of those today. Let's see what we get. Hey! Lottery ticket time. There's my 3 I'm looking for. Now, maybe I should remind myself what that looks like. Let's see, what does 3 look like? Oh, cool. We haven't done 3. It looks like a lot of flying geese, but it's only half a block's worth, right? I don't think we've done that one. Oh, we have done 1 block 3 already. This does. It turns out beautiful, and I did a 2-color split. So maybe I'll do something like that this week as well. Let's see. We're going to see what color we end up with. Now, block 3 color. Awesome. Green. You can see I'm starting to run low on my yellows because of so much bright, warm yellow color, orange color this time. So green it is. That's making me feel real good. And of course, I like medium numbers off the 20-sided die. I don't think I've hit anything over 12 or 13 yet, maybe because of this low volume neutral thing I'm doing. I don't know. I'm also using up a lot of fabrics and scraps, and we'll talk more about the retreat coming up in April, where you can join me for that. But okay, let's see how many different fabrics we're going to use today. 17. Good luck with that. All right, 17 fabrics, and I'm going to start with my green and reading the quilt real quick. And I'm going to choose for my low volume neutral background. I want to use my lime green. That's super fun. And I think I'll try to make this somewhat monochromatic because I do have so many greens. And then maybe I'll push the blues for that checkerboardy effect. And boardy is definitely a word. So let's see how many different fabrics. I'm starting to learn to cheat this way. Kind of just grab and go. If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't count past that. 6, 7. My fabric was stuck. 8, 9, 10. I think I can see this. Okay, 10. I don't know that I'm still going to get to 17, but there's 11, 12, 13, 14. Let's stop there. 14 is about what I can do. I'm going to get myself a nice monochromatic block. Again, using all of these as my light tones. And then what I really want to do is I want to kind of build a gradient, light to dark, through my greens as well. So these greens over here this week will be more on this side to this here, pushing into the blue for the real flying geese. So that means of these flying geese up here, let's count them out, folks. I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. They come in even numbers, so that's 22, but that's only 11 of these pieces matched up. And I don't believe I've got any of the other ones pre-made. So, okay, so we need 11 of these paired up with my blue fabric so that I can make my gradient. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Okay, perfect. And we wanted our darkest. See what we can get with this. I'm just going to start to set them aside as I use them. I'm going to probably need 2 now of each other color. Here's a cool trick with this fabric. This is kind of a grunge, so I can use both sides there. And it looks like I'm probably going to be wise to get myself, yeah, just for the fun. Okay, I need one more of those. Those are the darks. There's that. Okay, we're just going to use this grunge appropriate. So that's super easy way to build up the sides for the half square triangles. These will all be stitched off here in a second, trimmed down. I'll show you that. Now for this, I'm only going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of these different fabrics. So 1, 2, this one's already been cut down. Thank you. 3. Again, the right size, I'll take it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and because I want that dark transition off of there, there's my 9 again. Could also use the backside of this because it will read like a solid, so that's pretty cool. I think I'll do that. That's a great idea. Okay, did I get them all in there? I do believe I did. Make sure my iron starts to get hot. Clear off a little bit of my workspace as I dive in to the building here of the units necessary. Oh, and I also don't want to forget to count out how many of my lights or my low volume neutrals I'll need. So here again is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. So I do need to trim these also down into 2.5 inch squares. I'll need 6 of those. And that'll be my trick. Let's just start there with our lesson plan. So taking all my corners and lining them up, and I wouldn't do more than 6 pieces at once. I'm just going to go ahead and work off of one corner. I'm going to find a 2.5 inch mark and a 2.5 inch mark here. And with my Quilter Select cutter, it's got like kind of a heavy duty. So I actually kind of go into heavy duty mode. So I'm not pushing the fabric. I'm just cutting through. And of course, a sharp blade always helps with that. So now that's how I make my squares. We're going to keep these organized as we go into stacks. Once all of my squares are cut down today, like I said, I want to get into these half square triangles. So I'm going to move my edge guide out of the way. If you're using a 1/4 inch foot with an edge guide, you probably need to move it. We're going to make 2 at a time. These are 3-inch squares. So probably drawing a diagonal line for the beginners out there that they just feel more confident in that. I'm going to use my seam guide tape. The edge of that foot is a target space. And then just letting my eye find that bottom corner. We're going to chain piece all of these on one side first. Sounds like my sewing machine's been at the spa day again. That's actually just a fresh needle and a little oil. I love my handy Quilter 510. Same machine we were using during the sew along, although I mentioned during the sew along, this one's mine here. You see the stickers all over the back of it. Easy straight stitch, needle down only feature. It's got a speed control so the machine doesn't rip away from you, but it's great for free motion quilting. And of course, we've got them available on our website, stitchinheaven.com. And they will drop ship directly from the Handy Quilter factory to you. So there's very little waiting around, and the machines will be perfect and have warranty and all that that you need. And we are excited to make that offer to you. Once I sew my last piece, then I'm just going to literally use the thread cutter on the machine to separate my units out. And then I'm going to turn and burn and basically go down the other side. Now I'm just kind of using my foot as my guide as well. Same thing, dropping the foot at that corner, but now I'm going to use the thread also just to confirm everything's looking good. And I'll go ahead and finish out chain piecing all of these before I trim them and get ready to cut them down with my slotted trimmer. I just love using the edge of the machine, or that thread cutter on the edge of the machine, just to knock those units apart. Now, let's use a ruler to be safe today and basically just drop it down. We're trimming basically 1/4 inch between each of those triangles. And like good old Henry Ford, we're going to do everything the same at once so we don't get easily distracted, so we stay accurate. So I can go ahead and talk while I'm doing this part a little bit. And I do want to talk about the retreats that are coming up at Stitchin Heaven. It's going to be awesome. We have, of course, the Pamela May retreat coming up, and that's Jennifer Wagner teaching a super fun quilt, and that is going to be just around the corner, really. And right after that, that one's in March, so right after that is my April Scrap Masters, which we really just announced a few days ago. So we have opportunity for you to sign up. We're calling it Camp Scrap Masters, and I definitely have the link in the video today as well as last week. And what we're going to do is we're going to spend a few days rolling and spinning our ways to a random quilt top together, and it's going to be awesome. I'm going to encourage everybody to bring 3-inch scraps to share and spare and play with and mix and match colors before we get started in the project. Kind of do a palette build is my thought at the beginning. I'm trying to convince the powers that be to allow us to get one of those super cool like phone booths that you stand in with all the money, because that would be really cool just to stand in a phone booth full of money. No, and have it blow scraps all over us, and we get our scraps, and we get to do that. I think that would be terrific. So at any rate, we're going to have a lot of fun. That's coming up April, and I believe it's the 29th through May 3rd. So it'll right last few days of April. And of course, I'll be instructing at that. It's a little lower price than I normally charge for a retreat because I'm not teaching a big project. We're literally just going to be playing the whole time. That's my excuse to give all of you a discount going into the new year. We have the Quilt Works experience coming up, which is amazing. We have the, oh, and did I say that wrong? Is it Quilt Works? Quilt Works University. Hey, you're going to have to check the website, stitchinheaven.com, to figure it out. That's going to be amazing. And I'm super excited about that. September, I'm doing an applique retreat. And so I've had folks come to this before, and we'll be doing the same thing, building applique projects with a patchwork background. And we're going to talk a lot about the different functions and features that go on in such a program like that. And it's going to be wonderful. And you can work with either Kevin, the Hummingbird, or my Bird of Paradise, or the Inda Blossoms project, or I've got another one on the design wall well, not at the moment, but I've got something I'm working on I think that you're going to absolutely love. So that is terrific coming up. And I know a lot of you, we're just coming out of the holidays and everything. So we should be starting to think about what are we going to treat ourselves to next. I'm not a real big resolutions guy, although if you weren't here last week, my theme for this year is be strong and courageous, both physically, emotionally, financially. I think will be fun. I want to make some investments and do different things with that courageous side, and strong is always important, I think, in everything we do. Spiritually, that's where that comes from. So at any rate, I was starting to say, do something exciting. Maybe a quilt cruise. If you haven't ever done a quilt cruise, yes, we take people, we put them out at sea on a cruise ship. We cover the classrooms with tables, and everyone gets a machine provided, and we have irons and instructors, and we bring your kits, and oh, it's so much fun. And of course, you can still enjoy all of the cruise board activities. And at port, we normally are not teaching. We're out having fun, snorkeling or touring, eating crab in Alaska, which is one I'm really looking forward to. This year, I'll be up in Alaska with my dear friend Mark, the Quilting Marine. And so anyways, I am just really feeling blessed right now about all of the different things coming up this year for me travel-wise. So I just want to encourage you all to be looking forward to maybe pace yourselves, put a few different things on your list. Maybe there's a new block of the month you want to be trying. We have so many new ones. I've really been impressed with what we've been working on the creative side. And again, of course, we're having a ton of fun with our videos and everything. The Facebook group's blowing up, but yeah, I was starting to say I'm really proud of what we're doing at Stitchin Heaven with a lot of the kits, and Veronica's doing an amazing job with the block of the month and getting all of those available. We are almost wrapped up with the dog park block of the month. I'm on the final month 8, and then from here on, we'll just do some quilting on that. I'm really excited. Looking forward to quilting the New Year's quilt. I saw a lot of comments in the Facebook group about what are you going to do about that, Rob? So I'm pretty pumped up. Probably so pumped up, I should slow it down a bit and talk real quick about what I'm doing with my slotted trimmer, get these finished out, and come back with this layout put together so we can start sewing the parts and pieces. So with my slotted trimmer, I've laid my 2.5-inch mark right on or right slightly above the stitch line, the threads that I could see. And then I've gone ahead and trimmed. And for me, it's just naturally easier to preset my dog ear. So the pieces were not pressed. I'll go ahead and press all the pieces at the end, restack them darks to lights, and be back in a moment with the all of this done. But while I'm getting this work done, let me invite myself back on set here to do what we call the grateful list. Hey, all right. Thanks again, Handsome. I appreciate that a lot. And yes, folks, the grateful list. I am super pumped up about it. And as we begin the new year, though, this is not a resolutions list or a follow-up on cleaning house with old quilt projects and stuff. This is something that both my wife and I feel like is really important to do each and every day. She has a journal she keeps. I like to do it here with all of you, but it's important, I do believe, to spend time thinking of the things that we are grateful for. So first and foremost, this year is all y'all's. And I like to say that as fun for my friends there in Texas. But yes, incredibly fortunate to have the 86,000 of you in this community is growing and growing super quickly. So we definitely have Facebook groups for all of our block of the month programs and our cruises, but we do have the Sew Well Facebook group, and I'd encourage you to join that. There's a couple of questions I would like you to answer so I know you're not a robot and we can let you in safely. And of course, we also have the New Year's Day Sew Along, which we're using the same group over and over for the year so that we can stay in touch. And we at Stitchin Heaven are talking about doing more and more mystery quilts. So if you like that kind of thing, definitely make sure you're following on the mystery quilt along. We may be doing one before New Year's this year. That's all I can say. I'm pretty excited about that, right? Secondly, and this was kind of funny, but as I flew in, I got kind of stranded with my daughter on the way home from Texas. So number 2 on the grateful list is Ruby time. Yes, my 20-year-old daughter, Ruby, offered to pick me up from the airport. So we went and had lunch, and we decided that we should get her tire looked at because it was making a funny noise. Well, a new wheel bearing later, but that required a repair that needed to be done right then and there. And I had a small suitcase and backpack with me because I was coming home from my trip to Texas, and she only lived, I don't know, maybe a 10, 15-minute walk away. So I think I might have embarrassed my daughter. I looked a little homeless going down the road with my suitcases and backpack, and she wouldn't walk real close, but we had fun. And I know, like anything, as new parents out there, it's that wonderful, awesome, what am I trying to say? The time we spend with our kids. It's so important. So I'm pretty excited about that. Now, number 3. My reading material for this year and last year and the year before. You know I'm a believer, so a chronological study Bible I have started this year, January 1st, and I also did it 2 years in a row running, and it's just a great way to get more of the history from the stories of the Bible and get a better idea of what really happened in the account. So I think that's a fantastic way for me, and I like, again, having something to look at each morning as part of my devotional, if you will. Now, for you believers out there, give it a try. For you non-believers out there, I would also encourage you to give it a try as a history book. You may or may not be encouraged to reach out to me and ask some questions, and or if you would like to have a friendly debate because you're a non-believer, I love that kind of stuff too. We could just have a personal email, rob@stitchinheaven.com. So anyways, anyone that's willing to read that chronological Bible along with me this year, let me know. I think it's really fun, and we could always start a conversation outside of our sewing group. So that's pretty exciting. And number 4, as part of my Be Strong and Courageous I mentioned last week, is fitness. And I'm not really necessarily doing a new program. And I hate to say this, folks, but we are here on social media together. And at the beginning of each and every new year, I get those chair workouts for dudes that are over 50 on my Facebook, like ad nauseum, because yes, I am a dude over 50. But no, I do not want to have to use a chair for my fitness. But I do like rolling around on the floor and doing different natural body exercises. So just encouraging all of us this year to remember to stay mentally and physically strong by adding in some fitness routine, some stretching routine, and some healthy eating and drinking or non-drinking routines. A lot of folks do a sober January. So I thought that'd be kind of fun. Thought I'd throw that out there as part of my grateful list. And all of that comes to, and I'm doing a bonus number 5, which is not really on there because I only have 4, but I'm saying choose joy, because all of that comes to choosing joy. You have a choice each and every day. So be joyful in those things that are presented to you. I am also saying that out loud to myself, as sometimes I'm walking through the mud and in my brand new sneakers thinking to myself, boy, how do I find joy in this? Sewing often brings me back to that. And sewing is such a great and safe place. And I'm so fortunate that I have found this for my busy hands, my busy mind, but my love of color, my love of technology, and again, my love of community. So sewing it is, and so sewing we go. And with that, the grateful list comes to an end until next week. To be continued. And we are back with a beautiful layout. And I did play a little bit with randomizing my half square triangles, but I really want the whole dark to light gradient happening. So the green split at the center, going darker blue this way, limey or green this way. And you can see it's just going to be a terrific block. Now, the easiest way for me to do this is put my 1/4 inch seam guide back on. I use that black mark on my tape there to lock that back in. And I'm just going to sew the blocks together into rows and then press the rows as I go so that the units will nest as I do each and every week. So this is pretty cool and exciting to have this going on. Nice thing about most of this block is there's only a couple of orientation tricks that you're watching. So when you're doing your squares, you're really kind of going straight edge to straight edge. And when you're doing your half square triangles, all the, I'm just going to say print for lack of a better term, or the dark, they're all facing in one direction throughout today. So we just keep on doing that while you're working on your block number 3, color green, 17 fabrics if you can get up to it. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Now that I have all of my blocks pieced together into rows, I'm going to go ahead and press the different rows in different directions. So I'm going to iron this one as I move right to left. Maybe a blast of steam to set those. I'm going to rotate this strip. So I'm still moving right to left, but I've flipped the block so it's being pressed left to right. Just the way I've learned to do it over the years. And I really like it. And I really liked it while working on this project back here. Made a lot of sense to me. And when you come back in, you just need to go ahead and double check the orientation for yourself. So really every other row stays natural. And then every other row from those other rows are rotated. Easy to do with this block because you can really see the design even in the scrappy format. I like this block a lot. And at the Scrap Masters Camp and Scrap Masters Retreat, technically we'll still be working on this. So I don't believe I'll make new blocks. I'll keep these blocks the same, but I think we'll be able to integrate some of our fabrics. I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments below if you would like Camp Scrap Masters to be a whole new series of blocks. If you're coming, of course, that's when you get to make the choice. Or if you want to keep working on what we're working on over here, and then just have some new fabrics to integrate. Okay, now that these are laid out this way, as I flip them over, my seams are going to be going in opposite directions, and that's going to make life really nice and easy over here at the sewing machine. I'm just kind of double checking as I go, making sure I keep a pretty consistent 1/4 inch seam allowance, and this helps each block come together so nicely, regardless when I make them, which machines I'm making them on, the variety of different fabrics I'm using, because some of that is kind of maybe reckless to some quilters. I do press after I'm doing the row sewing, and let's see, I want to be starting to press into the work. So this has got 2 half square triangles, so I'll press up, add on the next one, and just keep on going as I'm sewing here. Okay, well, here we have it, Scrap Masters. Let's see how it turned out. Oh, joy. See, there it is. Choose joy. Now, I have to say, and I probably say this every week, I think I like this block the best so far, but that's a true experience and a true emotion I'm having because I am learning how to work with the colors and using the low volume neutrals. Not every block worked out so well in the beginning, and that's what quilting can and I believe should really be about, at least your experimentational projects. And that's why we developed this here for you, the Scrap Master, so that you can kind of learn and sew a little bit at a time. You're not sure what to be sewing on. And of course, check out that Facebook group, So Well Rob Appell. I will post this week the chart of the blocks that we have done, and in that group are the files for the patterns and also the chart from all of the first round of 35 blocks that makes this quilt. And again, it's all random, so you could always just treat yourself to any number and color as you go as well. So I'm just really blessed to know that you're sewing along with us here. This is wonderful. Please consider signing up for a cruise, a retreat, a block of the month with us at Stitchin Heaven. We are really excited about all of our offerings this year. Okay, folks, well, until I see you on a tutorial on a Wednesday, or I see you next week for a fantastic Friday sew along right here on our Scrap Masters Weekly, please stay well.